YouTube, today we're trying out a brand new team, and this team has a Focus Sash Calyrex-Ice Rider with a Hyper Beam Analytic Porygon2. It is a team that qualified for the Japan National Championship, and it just looks like a lot of fun. If you do want to check out the details of the team, make sure you check them out in the description down below. I'll also link the creator and grab it with the rental code right here. But if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. I'm a bit interested to try out the Focus Sash Calyrex and see how it works on this team. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. That's a unique team. Zacian, Kyogre, Whimsicott, Alolan, Marowak, Ludicolo, and Thundurus. What do I want to bring here? I think it's probably Porygon2 Indeedee. I think it's really strong. There are quite a few things here that's unique. Is Marowak going to be brought here? Because Lightning Rod does seem good for the Regieleki. I just don't know. I think I want to go Porygon2 Indeedee. I think it's just really strong. And then in the back, I want Kyogre, and I don't know if I want to have Regieleki. It's good against the restricteds, but I don't know if that's the right end. So I kind of want to go Calyrex because the Thundurus could be a little bit annoying, I suppose. And if I do go to Trick Room mode, I at least have the Calyrex, right? Which I think is really important here. So I think it gives me a secondary option here, and I think that's the important part. I don't know. Is it double Prankster on this team? I kind of doubt it. I think the Thundurus will probably be Defiant on this team. Especially, yeah, I feel like it'd be Defiant more likely. However, I guess we'll see. It could be a Rain Dance support set to help with specific matchups. This definitely looks like a cool team though, for sure. This definitely looks interesting. I'm excited to see what is going to be brought out here. I hope we see the Marowak because that would be cool. It also gets destroyed by my Kyogre, so that's even better for me. We're going to see the Marowak and the Kyogre. Okay, so this is anti-Regieleki lead. Perfectly fine here. Especially since the Marowak can't really damage Porygon 2 at all. I will take this. Yeah, Flare Blitz won't do much. This is perfect. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm going to go for a Helping Hand immediately. And I'm going to go for my Max Strike here. It is usually the best options. Oh, wait, I don't have a Trick Room mode on this game. That I just realized this is Ally Switch Porygon, right? Or is it Trick Room? I might have been mistaken, but I think it's Ally Switch. Yeah, it is Ally Switch. Okay, so I didn't have a Trick Room option. That means I can't do Calyrex stuff, but it should be okay for the long run, I'm pretty sure. We go for the Helping Hand here. There's no point of Follow Me. It doesn't change anything in the spot. We just go for the Max Strike here into Kyogre. If they Ally Switch with Marowak turn 1, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say here. If they Ally Switch my... Please don't Ally Switch turn 1. Please don't. Dynamax Porygon 2. We got the big duck. And I mean, there's a lot of duck Pokemon that I think about. The new starter for the water one for the not Sword and Shield, for the Gen 9 games. Violet and Scarlet does have a duck. And Water Spout going to come out. Good damage. Doesn't look like Mystic Water, so I'm kind of curious on the item. Max Strike comes out into the Kyogre. Huge amounts of damage right there. Absolutely big. And I wonder if it's Scarf or not, because I actually have no clue. We're going to see Marowak attack here. Wisp. I guess it just didn't have another option. Okay. I wish we knew speed tiers, but I'm assuming that Indeedee should be faster than a Kyogre. I'm just going to go for Phantasm and Expanding Force. They can't even KO me anyway with like Water Spout. So Expanding Force in the max Ghost tier seems like the best option here. And yeah, let's see. We do see the switch on Kyogre. I think it is Scarf then. Zacian comes in. All right. That's okay for me, because I get damage in the Zacian and put in Water Spout range. Now my Scarf Kyogre looks really good in the end. I have to watch about Ludicolo. Oh, they Ally Switch. That's funny. It was Ally Switch. Why you Ally Switch Wisp? What set is that? Okay, we get a big Expanding Force off. This is the best turn, I think, for us, because we get really good damage on both. And we get a Max Phantasm into the Zacian, which is nice here. Okay, really good damage. That's pretty good damage because of the Analytic. Yeah, that's really good damage. Okay. I guess the question is Ludicolo a pain in the back to deal with? Maybe. Although we do have Calyrex-Ice Rider. They haven't used their max though. We're going to go for Phantasm, and we're going to go for Follow Me. Yes, we always just go for the Follow Me here. The reason this is good is because we can go for Follow Me here to prevent our Porygon from going down. We could maybe pick up the knockout into the Zacian. I'm not too sure yet. And afterward, yeah, I mean, if we do see Zacian protect and Marowak just like, I don't know, dishes off something, that's all right. If they take the knockout Indeedee is nice because I get my Kyogre in with Scarf and I outspeed and KO a lot. Although Ludicolo in the back is definitely concerning. We're going to see Marowak protect here. Perfect. Perfect. Didn't have to target you. So we're going to see a follow me come up from the Indeedee and goodbye Zacian, I think. If it survives, I don't mind that. It actually probably puts me in a better spot because then I could go for Water Spout, Icy Wind, and I really threaten. But I guess getting rid of Zacian is just always nice for the Calyrex, right? So we are going to see Indeedee drop to the Behemoth Blade. It's okay here, however, because we are, I think, knocking out the Zacian this turn with the Max Phantasm. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Goodbye, Zacian. Imagine Porygon being able to beat a Zacian. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Okay. I think we go out into our Kyogre now. Yeah, I think we go out into our Kyogre now because we want to get rid of the Marowak. Wait, it's Protect, Ally, Switch, Will-O-Wisp. What is this set? We're going to see Thundurus come out. That's all right. I don't... Actually, this is probably perfect. So Kyogre comes in... This is perfect, right? I think this is the best position I could ask for here. I could Ally Switch here. I don't think it changes much. I'm going for Hyper Beam and a Water Spout. I'm locking it in. I'm trying to think about other things that could happen here. What is that support Marowak set? I'm trying to think. What is that support Marowak set? That's a crazy set when I think about it. But helping hand, a Water Spout, Hyper Beam might knock out the Thundurus in this range. If it's Prankster, we don't have to worry about anything because Psychic Terrain's still up. They could sack their Kyogre here to save the Marowak, which I could see. I don't know if they're going to do that, though. I think they're just going to sack the Marowak here. And I'm hoping to knock out the Thundurus with the combination of Water Spout with the Choice Scarf and Hyper Beam. We're going to see the Marowak retreat, which is okay here because I get rid of the Kyogre. That's nice, especially since my Calyrex should outspeed their Marowak. Are they protecting the Thundurus? No, they're definitely Dynamax attacking, I think. I don't know if this is Airstream or Max Lightning. But yeah, I think it makes sense actually because the Marowak most likely had Lightning Rod and was protecting the Thundurus, right? Or yeah, like the thing about the situation is if they Max Lightning, it gets redirected to Marowak. So I think they are going for the Max Lightning here. This is okay. Water Spout should... Okay, yeah. Hit Hyper Beam. Hit Hyper Beam, please. Hyper Beam just KOs the Thundurus. If you hit Hyper Beam, we win. If you don't, we're in trouble. Wait, why would you Max Knuckle in this situation? I don't know if Knuckle was a play out of anything. Airstream made sense to me. Max Lightning made sense to me. Why that? Hyper Beam Porygon2 obliterates the Thundurus. And yeah. I guess that could be a thing. I don't know about that one. I could definitely... Like, if they're going to switch out to Kyogre, I think... If they're going to switch out the Marowak to Kyogre, I think you take the knock on Kyogre. Because the Marowak is not accomplishing much afterward. And you're losing the Kyogre there unless you target the Kyogre. If you target my Kyogre, you're losing your Kyogre if you don't target my Kyogre. So I don't know what that was about, but yeah, we click Water Spout. Protect is probably going to come out here. They're just going to forfeit because, yeah, they can't even win. And I mean, why? That Marowak set though was crazy. Will-O-Wisp ally switch. Just all support. I guess it helps for Zacian. Because it probably lives a hit from Zacian. I wonder what was its move. Flare Blitz is the last one for Ferrothorn. I'm not too sure. At the end of the day, we were just able to, I think, again, Max Strike, dishing out a ton of damage, setting up for endgame Scarf Kyogre. It's really nice with the Indeedee plus Porygon lead. And then Calyrex-Ice Rider could have definitely came in handy for the late game, especially with that Focus Sash to be able to survive any attack and probably clean up, I think, the rest. If you currently enjoy the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. We have a Grimmsnarl Landorus variant, a Tornadus incarnate form, the Zacian, Kyogre, and a Mungus. Calyrex looks really good. If I can get rid of Kyogre, it seems really solid. The plan here, I think, is to go with like this kind of lead with the Porygon plus the Indeedee. I think it's really solid here. And then set up for Calyrex-Ice Rider, I think, in the back and Kyogre. I could go Eleki. Eleki doesn't seem bad. However, I don't know what exactly to bring as options here. Maybe Eleki was better than Kyogre? I mean, no, Kyogre just does way too much, right? I think it's definitely worth it. I'm maxing the Porygon anyway, so I don't think I'm maxing the... No, I'm not maxing the Eleki. Yeah, I don't think it's that great. So I have a really strong option lead-wise here, I'm pretty sure, because the Indeedee Porygon can't get OHKO'd by anything other than like a Kyogre or Zacian lead, I suppose. Maybe that could threaten it. Otherwise, I'm in a good spot. If I can weaken the Zacian for my Kyogre, that's really nice. If I'm able to stall out the turns of Tailwind, that's really important here, because that's probably going to be what's happening here. It's going to be like the Tailwind stuff. I don't know here, because I think this is... Wait, do they run Swagger on these Torns? I know in the past they ran like the Swagger Torn set with Lumberry, Landorus Berry, and I don't know if it's going to be that team. We'll find out. They almost timed out here. It looks like they didn't. It's going to depend on some sets, because lead-wise, I think it's going to be like Torn Kyogre, or maybe like something offensive for sure, because they know like I have Trick Room option, or maybe they know this team and don't know that I don't have Trick Room, or maybe they know that I don't have Trick Room. Kyogre Landorus lead. All right, not what I anticipated at all. Works out for me. So we bring out the Indeedee plus the Porygon, and I don't really care about the Landorus, right? As long as I keep it slow, it's going to always go down to like Water Spout for my Kyogre in the end. I also have a Calyrex-Ice Rider, which is huge. Do they Airstream here? I don't know if they Airstream. I think Helping Hand Max Strike is the way to go into the Kyogre slot, however. I do think it is my solid option here. And yeah, I think that's what I am going to choose to use. Landorus, if it is Assault Vest, I guess could be scary. However, we will go for the Helping Hand Max, and Helping Hands. Yeah, Helping Hand Max here just seems great. Max Strike and the Kyogre seems really solid. They don't have switch-ins. The only problem, again, Assault Vest Max Quake here is pretty bad, because that means the Landorus can live a Water Spout from my Kyogre, which isn't that great for me. However, they offer way too much damage with a Water Spout here from their Kyogre. I guess I should check speed tiers, because I don't know who went first between the Landorus and the Kyogre, and that could have been really useful information. I keep forgetting to do this, but Landorus switches out, which is perfect, actually, into Amoonguss. All right, so they're expecting Trick Room. I think they're Water Spouting here, though. I think this is always Water Spout, which is ideal for me because I get a huge hit into the Kyogre. The next turn, Expanding Force and a Max Strike into the Amoonguss seems really solid. Amoonguss seems like a pain to handle in general for my team, so I really do like getting rid of it, as it frees up my Kyogre a bit more. Yeah, although it could be like a way I could like boost my Calyrex. However, I'd rather just get rid of it as soon as possible. We do go for the Helping Hand here, and let's see what the Kyogre goes for. Water Spout, no surprise, going to dish out a ton of damage. I can't tell what item is. I don't know. Max Strike is going to come out though in the Kyogre. Huge amount of damage, almost a knockout. Perfect. That's ideal. And what's nice is with the Porygon, I just spam these really powerful Max Strikes with the Porygon, where I just click it and they don't have many options. I go for Expanding Force into the Amoonguss slot right here. And I think Indeedee should be faster than Kyogre. I at least hope so. I actually don't know what the speed is on the Indeedee, but I'm assuming we're faster than Kyogre. They're going to go for Rage Powder, which is perfect, because hopefully I'm able to go for Expanding Force Max Strike here and just pick up KOs. Looks like that's exactly what happens here. That's ideal. All right, here comes a Max Strike and a, yeah, Expanding Force. Just able to power through right here. However, they're going to have 3 turns of Max. I'm assuming it's Zacian Landorus in the back, so this could be concerning, as we are able to eliminate the Kyogre here and Amoonguss. Okay. I think now we set up for our end game, which just seems really good here, of KOing the Zacian. What we need to do here is probably Max Strike the Landorus and follow me, because it should be not Scarf Landorus. I guess we can find out if it's Scarf Landorus or not, guaranteed here. Because if it's Scarf Landorus, maybe it plays differently. But then again, who would you max then, right? I think it has to be. We'll find out. We do find out. I guess if it's Scarf Landorus, then I guess the question is, there's some complications, I guess. My Indeedee's in Rock Slide range, maybe? And if that's the case, I can go for Rock Slide Behemoth Blade. Okay, Zacian's faster than Landorus. Okay, that's really good to know. Landorus's Intimidate goes off. Perfect. So I go for Max Strike into the Landorus here, and yeah, I Max Strike the Landorus here. I Max Strike and go for a, yeah, I Max Strike the Landorus. I click Follow Me. Actually, do I max strike the Landers? The thing about max striking the Landers is it could max guard if it's worried about Hailstorm, because they don't know my Porygon set. I guess I'll target the Zacian then. And I'll go for Follow Me. Yeah, because I get Chip into Zacian to put in range of Water Spout. It's not too bad anyway. If they get this, if they go for Max Quake, that's okay. I should be able to play around it. Actually, if they go for Max Quake, I'm just getting Calyrex-Ice right and I click Glacial Lance. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. We see the Landers Dynamax. I don't know if this is Max Guard if they're worried about Hailstorm, because the thing about this position is if they... I just don't know what item they are. That's the big part. Yeah, okay, they are worried about Hailstorm. Good thing I changed my mind and I went for the Max Strike instead. Perfect. Actually, I just go Calyrex anyway because I just click Glacial Lance. Yeah, I just click Glacial Lance anyway. We're going to see Behemoth Blade into the Indeedee. Oh, this is so good for me. This is the ideal position. Okay, Calyrex should be jolly max speed on this team, and Glacial Lance, I do outspeed the Landers, I assume, and Glacial Lance should KO. I hope. I really hope it does. So Max Strike into the Zacian so we get that speed drop. Really huge damage too. I guess I could go Kyogre and click Water Spout. However, I mean, we know it's not solved. I mean, I think Glacial Lance just OKHO's Landers. I'm like pretty sure it does. And they have the speed drop, which is already important because they're not going to be able to outspeed the Kyogre anyway. Yeah, we are max speed. So we just go Calyrex here. And I think Glacial Lance just cleans it up. So we will go for that. We bring out the Calyrex here. We're going to click Icy Wind into a Glacial Lance, and we should be able to pick up the knockout Landers, lower that speed. I could ally switch with the Porygon. However, I really don't want to. I feel like it's super unnecessary. And as long as I get... I mean, all I need is Chip for my Scarf Kyogre to win, right? So I'm going to click Glacial Lance here and Icy Wind. We're going to see Behemoth Blade come out. No surprise. Probably targeting down to Calyrex. Or maybe the Porygon if they read ally switch. Okay, they target the Calyrex. Perfect. Okay, Sash coming into play because it survives against the Zacian, which is huge. And let's see, Glacial Lance. How much do you do to Landers? It's an OKHO. Goodbye, Landers. And that's a good game right there. Didn't even need to Scarf Kyogre as I thought. The Focus Sash on the Calyrex, huge there. Able to survive, and since it's fast, it outspeeds the Landers at -1. And that's the really cool thing about this team. The Max Strike Porygon is really hard to play around if you're trying to like make sure you have something faster than the Calyrex, which is really nice. And yeah, we get another Icy Wind off. So the Zacian's at -2 speed, which means Calyrex should outspeed the Zacian. Only way it can knock me out is with a quick attack. And we can go for a... I guess I'm ally switching, and I'm clicking Glacial Lance. Should always KO the Zacian. That was going to be forfeit. I was just going to ally switch in case they went for the last ditch quick attack. I thought it would be funny. Yet, yeah, really powerful. I think the Sash Calyrex really... I think got to shine there. As I mentioned before, I was able to eliminate their Kyogre or dish out a lot of damage to their Kyogre. I was always able to keep the speed control up because Max Strike was just really powerful, chipping away their team and setting up for, again, the endgame Calyrex-Ice order and the Kyogre eventually that would have been able to sweep their team. And good thing I went for the guaranteed Max Strike there, because even if they went for the Airstream, I had backup plans, right? I did have backup plans, but I needed the speed drop guaranteed right there, and that was really important. So the turn targeting Zacian, I think, was like a game-defining one right there. Zacian, Kyogre, Regieleki, Tornadus Incarnate Form, Incineroar, and Amoonguss. Pretty standard Zacian Kyogre team. Not exactly the best matchup for this kind of team. So I guess this is where we're going to show off, I'm assuming, the strength of the other things that we have here, which is going to be our Porygon plus Indeedee. Because Helping Hand Max Strike does dish out quite a bit of damage here. So I would imagine we go with these two. And then in the back, I think it's Kyogre. Kyogre dishes out a lot. And then Regieleki or Calyrex, because Calyrex is only really good, I think, against the Amoonguss, which could be the thing that gives me a little bit of trouble. But I really do like Eleki here. Eleki is fantastic otherwise. Electro Web support for my Scarf Kyogre seems absolutely insane. And yeah, I think that is the call here. I think the Porygon can just dish out a ton of damage to my opponent's team and set up for an endgame Kyogre sweep. As long as hopefully it's able to take attacks from the Zacian really well. And we will see how it goes. Because the goal here is to eliminate everything and get that speed control to put it in range of Kyogre endgame sweep. There are quite a few things. Amoonguss is probably going to have to be weakened or dealt with ahead of time. So that is going to be one of the huge things that we do have to consider. We're going to see Kyogre plus the Torn lead. Okay, that works out fine. I don't know if this is Trick Room or not, But I think I will go for a helping hand immediately into this and go for... what do I want to go for otherwise? I mean, I do think that the play here is just a helping hand. Go for a max strike into the Kyogre. I think that's really solid here. And I could go for Trick Room here, but I feel like Water Spout's just doing way too much damage to my Porygon, and the things that I brought in the back are fast, so I don't think that's really that great of an idea here. We'll go for the helping hand max strike here, and we do have... Hold on, let me just double check our speed stat real quick. For Analytic, okay, which should be useful here because we're going to move after. Helping hand max strike should KO the Kyogre if it doesn't max here, and if it maxes, hey, I don't have to worry about whatever could be like a max Aleki, for instance, that could be really threatening afterward. So they are going to max, it looks like a Kyogre. All right. So this means it can only target one slot, and that's actually still pretty good here. I get a huge amount of damage in the Kyogre. Torn maxes. Is this Airstream and a Water Spout? That is okay by me. I'll take that. I will 100% take that. All right. So it's going to be Airstream, and yeah, I think Aleki is going to be in a really solid position afterward. I think Aleki can... Well, the thing is, I guess Torn... Is it faster than Aleki at +1? No, because it's like Thunderous. So that's not going to be the case here. It's probably just Airstream and a Water Spout. If they go for Protect here, it's okay because I got a lot of damage in the Kyogre through the Protect, I imagine. I'd say we probably do 30% with the Analytic Water Spout. We're helping... Not Analytic Water Spout. Analytic Max Strike here. We're going to see Max Darkness come out. Oh, that's why they have this. Okay. The Max Darkness coming into the Porygon. Oh boy. Water Spout's going to do a lot to both here. This could be a problem. This could be a problem. Let's see. Water Spout is going to come out into both. Does knock out my Indeedee. However, I am able to survive with my Porygon. And here comes a Max Strike here. So I guess Dynamax was the right call here, because otherwise I would have been put in a really awful spot. We are able to eliminate the Kyogre, which is nice here. However, the remaining doesn't seem that great here. I guess I could bring in Kyogre. The question is, what did they bring in the bag? Did they bring in Eleki here? Because if they bring in Eleki, it might be better to go out into Regieleki, as I think that gives me better odds here. Yeah, let's just go on to Eleki here, I think. Let's go into Eleki. Let's find out what they're going to bring out next. They do bring out their Eleki. Okay, so this is perfect to bring in my Eleki. And afterward, I guess that's a question, because I don't know if Porygon survives a move here. And they could go for Electroweb. However, they're -1 speed here with their Torn, so it should be okay. I think what I do here is I go for a Max Strike into the Eleki slot, and I think I just Rising Voltage here. I wish I had Thunder in this case. Thunder would be really nice here to hit the Torn and maybe pick up the knockout. However, we'll go for a Rising Voltage here because I don't think we have much of a play. I could see Eleki going for the Protect here and Torn going for an Airstream here into the Porygon slot if they think the Torn can live with attack here and get the Airstream boost for their Eleki. They're going to protect the Torn. Okay. What are they going for here? It's a Volt Switch. Okay. That works out really well for me, actually, I think. Yeah, that works out really well for me. So Porygon goes down here. That's all right. Oh boy, we could go down to speed ties. All right. We're going to see the Zacian come in. Okay, Kyogre, you're going to have to do some pretty big damage here. I think the play here is... Okay, Rising Voltage into the Torn. I think we have to lock ourselves in a Spout, right? I'm pretty sure we have to. Yeah, I think we have to. I think if we lock ourselves into Origin Pulse... I'm trying to think, because I don't think Electroweb and Origin Pulse picks up the knockout into Zacian, which is my concern here. So I think I'm forced to go for Electroweb here into Water Spout. I guess... Yeah, I have to. I need spread damage on Torn and Zacian here. And Electroweb Water Spout should knock out both, I imagine. Especially with the Life Orb on the Torn. So hopefully it is able to. I think Electroweb should do an easy, probably 40% to the Torn, while the Water Spout should pick up the knockout. I'd imagine it's a really strong attack here. And I imagine Zacian is probably going to protect, and the Torn probably sacked here to bring out their Eleki. The only problem, I guess, that could happen here is that they sack Eleki to save the Torn. And then it could get a little bit awkward. However, I think we could still probably play around that. It would be a bit strange, but it depends on like reading the Zacian attack correctly. We're going to see the Torn is retreating. Okay, so they bring out the big Eleki here. Okay. If I Origin Pulse here, I did win. However, I do think the water spout was the better play here. We're going to see the Zacian protect here. No surprise. Electroweb into the slots. The thing is, what is going to happen afterward? I got an Electroweb off. I get a water spout off to KO the Regieleki. And then afterward is... where are they going to target, I think? Because they always Tailwind with Torn, right? They're always Tailwinding with Torn. That's no question about it. They're forced to Tailwind. There's no other play I think that they make. If they make another play, and I think if they make another play, it's just super risky, and then they just lose the game off that. So I think they do have to max or the Tailwind here. And then the question is, what do they do with Zacian? Do they target the Kyogre? I think they have to, because if I protect Regieleki and Water Spout, they lose. So I think that's the goal here. I think we Electroweb. I'm pretty sure we Electroweb here, and then Water Spout hopefully is enough damage. It really depends what the Zacian move set is, because that could be a big thing. They're going to go for the Tailwind, no surprise. Who are they targeting with the Zacian? It's play rough into Regieleki. Oh, if I protected, I just straight up won. Oh, that's so unfortunate right there, because I felt like, what happens if my Kyogre just wasn't Scar first? That could have been a thing. All right, I do get a crit on Torn. I don't think it should have mattered, because Water Spout's just super strong. They have a few turns of Tailwind. I mean, that play, probably going to protect the stall at this last turn of Rain, and then they're probably going to go for a play rough for a Sacred Sword here. Yep. Okay, unfortunate. I guess I did have to make the protect Regieleki read. I guess I thought they were going to target the Kyogre and try to limit the damage from Water Spout, and then afterward I would have probably had an okay end game, I think, with Regieleki. It depends on the Electroweb plus Rising Voltage KO'd the Regieleki, and it really depends on like reads against the Torn, I think, because I think reads against the Torn were huge. However, yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. They went for the play rough here, and it's able to KO the Kyogre straight up, so I didn't have much right there. Maybe they thought I had protect on the Kyogre, and maybe they thought I was going to protect Kyogre and go for that Electroweb. Maybe that's why they decided to target the Regieleki. However, yeah, I didn't have that option, unfortunately. And I mean, turn 1 worked out amazing. I mean, it was the best possible result. Turn 2, I guess it was just a read, right? I had to read whether the Torn was going to switch out or not. I wasn't sure about that one. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out right there, I think, yeah, I was worried about the Torn play, and I do think it was a smart option. So I do think props to my opponent for definitely finding that read right there, because I do think it was a better option, because if they did go to Regieleki right there, they're risking if it's a speed tie, a potential speed tie, and then they're losing out the game. The Torn, I think, gives them better odds right there. We have Zacian, Palkia, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Regieleki, and Thundurus. Double electric type support here. Now, I don't know whether this is going to be a Defiant Thundurus or a support one. I can't tell, since they have Regieleki as a really probably offensive tool here. I can't tell which one. I think that Regieleki is super solid though in this matchup. It does so much damage. I think the Calyrex is definitely a really strong option here, especially with the Focus Sash. It actually is going to be useful here. A helping hand. I kind of want to lead Regieleki here. Is that crazy? Leading Regieleki plus Calyrex and going for like max strike Glacial Lance, or like max strike high horsepower, or maybe not high horsepower, because Zacian's still gonna outspeed at the end of the day. I do want to lead Regieleki though. I think it's Regieleki, I think it's Calyrex, and then I think in the back it's probably Kyogre, and I think Indeedee. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. I could lead the Indeedee here instead of the Calyrex, but I feel like Calyrex is just really good if Amoonguss... Well, I guess if Amoonguss leads, I click Expanding Force anyway. I think I want the Calyrex lead, because in case Thundurus leads, I want pressure on that. Especially if it's the Eerie Impulse set. Let us see how this matchup's gonna go, because I don't know if this is a common lead with this team. I'm trying out some new things here, because I want to see if it works or not. Regieleki plus, I think, Calyrex-Ice Rider could be a really good potential lead here, because I do have like Helping Hand, Max Lightning as an option, which is really powerful here. We're gonna see the Incineroar plus the Palkia lead. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. We lead the Regieleki plus our... actually, there's some fun stuff I could do here. I think I go for Helping Hand, Max Lightning here into Palkia, and yeah, I will go for that play. And you know what? This actually could be really good for me here. If I'm able to like get the damage into Palkia immediately, I think it's huge. So yeah, let's go for a Helping Hand, Max Lightning the slots, because if we're able to eliminate the Palkia immediately, imagine how much Kyogre does in the rest of the end game. I think it is the best option. Helping Hand Max Lightning, and then I bring in the Kyogre afterward and dish out so much damage. I think it can't win, because I think even if Palkia survives this max move, it's just it's probably just going to go down to Water Spout afterward from Kyogre afterward. Although they'll get the max Quake boost, but I don't think they're going to live with that much HP remaining. So we Dynamax the Regieleki here, and hopefully some good damage here. Especially, I don't know if they're going to max. If they max, it's great. If it, I mean, either way, it's fine, right? Because if they don't max, I get rid of the Palkia, and their other max options are super weak. But if they max the Palkia, I do so much damage here. I guess the question is, are they going to max guard, or are they Assault Vest? Because those are two items or two possibilities that just kind of give me some trouble. I really hope it's not max guard here and Parting Shot, as that would be pretty bad. However, we'll find out, I suppose. We will see a Helping Hand come out from the Calyrex, and hopefully this Max Lightning, huge amounts of damage with the Life Orb. We do see a Fake Out into the Calyrex, which is beautiful here. I wonder if they're expecting a Trick Room or something. Here comes the Max Lightning into the Palkia slot. How much damage are we doing here? It is almost a knockout, as I expected. It does survive, but it should be in range of Water Spout afterward, especially if it goes for like a Max Quake and takes Life Orb damage. That's beautiful. Okay. They do go for the Max Quake. This should knock out the Regieleki, but I am okay with that trade, I think. Yeah. So Regieleki does go down. I'm not surprised. As I mentioned before, this was pretty much according to my plan. I'm pretty sure Incineroar goes down to Water Spout. I am pretty confident in that. And then afterward, yeah, I think I go out into Indeedee here. Yeah, I go out in Indeedee, and yeah, I go Kyogre first. Yeah, it is Life Orb, perfect. All right, hard into Kyogre, then we go hard into Indeedee. Now the reason we go for these plays is because, yeah, I mean, we basically have traded our maxes here, but I think their max was super important in this matchup for my Kyogre specifically. I think this works out beautifully for me. I'm going to go for Water Spout here into their slot, and I'm going to go out into my Indeedee. The reason is to get rid of this electric terrain. I'm trying to figure out what they have in the back. If it's a Moongus, I want Expanding Force pressure into Water Spout, and if they have Zacian, I still want Helping Hand support, but the big thing is if they have Regieleki in the back, I want to be able to go for either Expanding Force or a Follow Me potentially. So I think this is the best case here. We'll bring out the Indeedee here, and we're not going to power up that Regieleki's Electro, which I think is huge. I think Incineroar goes down to Water Spout in the rain, although if it's a really bulky Incineroar with like Assault Vest, maybe it can survive. We do get the Psychic Seed up, which is nice. Ups for the Regieleki attacks. We're going to see Incineroar Heart Swap here into a Moongus. Okay, that's perfect, actually. Because the Moongus is taking a Water Spout and Expanding Force potentially the next turn. So here comes a Water Spout. Huge amounts of damage, and I think I click Helping Hand Water Spout to win the game. Especially since they don't have Fake Out pressure to deal with the Kyogre anymore. And yeah, Helping Hand Water Spout obliterates his Zacian. So I think this was positioned as well as I could have. Yeah, this is why, because if I like delayed the Indeedee a turn later, sure, I still had Helping Hand on the field, but they could have went Incineroar, went for Fake Out into Spore, and I either, yeah, like then what happens is I had to stay in. Maybe I go for Glacial Lance Water Spout, but then I could risk the Kyogre Spore, and I think that would lose me the game here. This way, I'm pretty sure Helping Hand Water Spout just picks up every single knockout that I needed to and allows me to win. I'm pretty sure that Helping Hand Water Spout will obliterate the Amoonguss at the range it's at. It looks like I got really good damage off. And it looks like a physically defensive Amoonguss, I'd imagine. So let's go for the Helping Hand Water Spout. Hopefully obliterate the Amoonguss. Unless I miss... Oh, I hope the Kyogre's not Modest and the Zacian's Jolly. If that interaction happens, I am in trouble. But I'm pretty sure with the Helping Hand support, it's going to be the Timid Kyogre. We're going to see, yep, the Water Spout come out. And since I obliterated Zacian, should be good game. Yeah, I just... Wait, what? That's a really Spadef Zacian. How did it live the Helping Hand Water Spout? You need a lot of defense to even just live. Okay, so it works out. That's surprising that it lived. Wow. That's a lot of investment you have to live, because in order to live Mystic Water Spout, for instance, which is weaker than the Helping Hand Water Spout, by the way, it takes a lot of investment. You need max HP and 12 special defense. That has more than that, I think, unless I got a super low roll. But I think it has quite a bit of Spadef. Yeah, we're Timid Ogre. So Helping Hand Water Spout, powerful. Calyrex here, and we go for an Expanding Force. Yeah, I mean, this should be fine. So we're going to swap our Kyogre because we want an Origin Pulse into the Incineroar late game. We're going to go out into Calyrex here. Maybe this is a mistake because they could go for Behemoth Blade. Nah, it should be fine, right? Because they can only target one slot here. If they protect here, that's fine too, because their Fang doesn't do enough damage and they can follow me and go for Glacial Lance. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay. I will take this turn. Darkest Lariat into the Kyogre slot, I imagine. Yep, it's the Calyrex. I am able to take it. Not well, but I do outspeed the Incineroar because I'm max speed, I imagine. I go for Glacial Lance, so I never miss, and I click Follow Me here. I should live... I think I live a Behemoth Blade with this Indeedee, I imagine. With Psychic Seed, I'm assuming it's more focused on its physical defense here, so I should live one Behemoth Blade, and then afterward, Incineroar is forced to target into that. Then I have a +1 Calyrex, so I have multiple chances to hit high horsepower or Origin Pulse. Either way, should be good. Yeah, especially since it probably is not max attack because it needed a lot of speed def to live that helping out water spout in the first place. Glacial Lance is going to finish off the Calyrex and chip the Incineroar. So all I have to do is hit one move into that Incineroar, whether it's Origin Pulse or high horsepower. As long as I don't get extremely unlucky, should have this game sealed. All right, Calyrex gets the boost and Darkest Lariat. Yep, Darkest Lariat. Excellent. Excellent. All right, Indeedee, goodbye. You did your job perfectly. You absolutely did your job perfectly. We get to bring in our Kyogre now. We click Origin Pulse. We click high horsepower. And 4, please don't miss all your attacks. The Incineroar has to dodge 3. I guess I could maybe seal it up with Thunder into Glacial Lance instead. Maybe that's a safer play. Actually, that might be safer. You know what? That's probably safer. I'm just going to go for that. Screw hitting the Origin Pulses. I'll just go for the Thunder Glacial Lance because it should do enough damage to the Incineroar. If not, I should be... Well, I guess if they take the knockout in a Calyrex, then I have to hit a Thunder out of rain, maybe? I should have checked the rain turns. I guess that could have been a loose con. However, again, it would have been extremely likely, I think, for me to lose there. I feel like Thunder would have definitely put it into range with Glacial Lance because I'm +1 Calyrex, single target on the Incineroar. I just don't think it's able to take the attack right there. So yeah, again, as I mentioned before, the Palkia, huge annoyance for the Kyogre. I'm able to eliminate it with the Regieleki turn 1. I got the trade-off exactly how I wanted it. And then afterward was able to position the Scarf Kyogre for Water Spout as they lost their only Pokemon that could really switch in. And they didn't have the Regieleki, they brought the Amoonguss instead, but it ended up being perfect because I didn't even have to worry about Electro Web in the late game and maybe like going for a switch with the Kyogre into the Calyrex and getting expanding force damage off into the Regieleki. Thankfully that wasn't necessary at all, as that Zacian ended up being very special defensive variant. So if they brought the Regieleki, it might have been a little bit more troubling. However, thankfully with the Amoonguss, it was just a lot easier to handle, and helping out Water Spout was able to dish out a ton of damage. Even though I'm still surprised that this freaking Zacian lived. Like, that's insane. And that is the show. Wow. Sash Calyrex. I was surprised because I felt like, you know, I kind of know how this team usually played before because I faced it a couple of times, but the max strike is really hard to play around in some cases. The big damage to Kyogre, like we saw like us doing like 95% to a Kyogre, which is absolutely insane with helping hand max strike. And it was really hard for the opponent to get speed control up generally because they didn't lead like max airstream mons. And then I was able to outspeed with like setting up for endgame Kyogre and Calyrex really efficiently. But yeah, if you did enjoy the team and if you want to check it out, make sure you grab it with the rental code right here. The details in the description down below alongside the creator. And if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, and check out the rest of my videos where I use a lot of fun Pokemon and cool teams. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.